Good morning. I am here with my coffee and my St. Anthony's spirit wear because it's Thursday. I know you all earn dress down, so hopefully you are enjoying this dress down too. Um, I'm just going to be honest, like, I have to sometimes just get up and get into the clothes that I should be wearing because otherwise I would spend the whole day in leggings and not feel like I'm getting anything done. So that might be a tip for you. If you're struggling a little bit with this, maybe you need to get up and put on your uniform to put yourself in the right frame of mind. I don't know, it might help. So, one thing that I want to just tell you about is that flexibility is practiced. You don't get more flexible without stretching and trying new things. And I know for some of you, this is a really, really uncomfortable stretching experience. But for others of you, you're enjoying it. You have figured out that some of the habits you naturally already have with scheduling and being diligent are really paying off. So, a little story about how flexibility is practiced. Some of you know that I lived in Sweden for a while. And when I lived in Sweden, there was a climbing wall in part of the building. And so every single night, I would go climbing. And in the beginning, I couldn't do some of the things. There was one thing where you had to go probably like 6 feet from one section of the wall to another section of a wall. And there was overhead stuff to help you. But in the beginning, my legs couldn't even go that far because, hey, I'm short. But then by the time that I left, by practicing every single night, I ended up getting to the point where I could do the splits and my body could basically reach from wall to wall because of all of that practice. And flexibility takes practice, and we're all learning in this together. I think some of us might be a little bit overwhelmed. I was really overwhelmed last week. And so we are thinking through those things as teachers. We're trying to figure out how to streamline things. I know even in my lessons last week, how long my lessons were of recordings changed. So we're all in this together. High School Musical. Ooh, maybe I'll put those sheets up next week. All right. So anyways, today's tip is set a timer. If you're not motivated, set a timer for 10 minutes and say, hey, I'm going to be all in, no distractions for 10 minutes. And then at that 10 minutes, you might be willing to keep on working because you've started. If not, you know what? You got 10 minutes worth done. Good job. It also, for people like me who tends to get like very, very into something, if I set a timer for, and I do this for grad school, I do this for any task practically that I'm doing. My timer is always going off. It gives me that cue to say, hey, you know what? You can take a break. So I personally, when I'm working on my grad school paper, I set my timer for 40 minutes overall, and then I have like 10-minute, sometimes like pacing marks. Hey, if it works for you, great. I know it works for me. And you're thinking, wow, she's weird. True. All right. The second tip of the day is to get Google Hangouts. I know that this is super helpful with my students because when you're exchanging emails about something, it just takes longer. Google Hangouts is instantaneous. Talk to your teachers about if they would be willing to use it and what times they would want you to use that. But it is so much easier when somebody has a question for us to do it over Google Chat than sending back and forth like 20 emails. Too many emails. You probably understand that. So please email me if you have any questions or concerns. Our challenge of the day is to remember your blessings. I've sometimes heard Thursday referred to as Thankful Thursday. I'm right now doing a devotional which every day talks about gratitude and being really thankful because I could get really narrow-minded and be like, I am so sick of staying in my bedroom or my apartment or my house. I can't handle this anymore. It's been too many days in a row. But instead, how I'm looking at this is, wow, God has been really gracious to me that I have a place to stay. And while we're sheltering in place, while we're staying close to home, I have a home that I can stay close to. I miss you guys. If you have anything you need, please reach out. Bye.